My God, it's hot. Hey guys, welcome. In this video today, I should put on a hat in my hair. My hair's a fucking disaster. Hey guys, welcome. In this live, I want to talk to you about the mind and about some special tactics. So the tactics that we're going to cover in this video are about memorization. And listen, I am not going to share like this crazy ass technique that exists out there. That is called the palace of memory. However, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So disregard everything that I just said. That was for a video that I'm planning on doing later today. What I want to talk to you in this live is about the mind and its physiology. So the body of the mind, it's something that doesn't make sense to a lot of us, right? And this is tied in a little bit to gang stalking. So first, the reality, the physiology of the mind is that it is really comprised of all your past habits, all your past thoughts. Everything that you did in the past is literally stored, not only in your head, but in your body. For example, if you're used to smoking, and the moment that you actually want a smoke, it is where you're gonna feel like the need like of a smoke, but that is because your mind itself began smoking without you. I know that sounds weird, but let me elaborate. When you are biting your nails, right? And you're just like this. And you don't feel any anxiety, right? You feel fine. However, the moment that you stop biting your nails, you start feeling the anxiety here. Like if something is already biting your nails, but you're not. Like it feels like that, it makes you want to bite your nails. And that is because your mind is already biting your nails. And it's telling you that that's what you typically do at that time. And it's your mind's way of telling you, hey, around this time you typically are biting your nails. So I'm gonna make you feel this just in case you want to. So that is why a lot of people that began biting their nails all of a sudden bite their nails. And the things that these ticks or whatever are typically they don't really stop, but they change in one form or another. Like there's people that just begin like doing this or playing with their fingers, and that is because they're already feeling the sensation of biting their nails. But if they want to stop biting their nails, they're gonna entertain their mind with another tick. So if that makes sense or not, just keep listening because it will. Okay, Mustaf, what does that mean? In English, please. Well, and so that is gonna, with that, I'm telling you about this concept of the mind's shadow. So it's not like a shadow, but is that your mind literally lives in your entire body. So let me give you an example. If you close your eyes and you imagine yourself lifting your hand, you will literally feel like you're lifting your hand. Like your muscles activate, right? So that is because that is your mind activating those muscles. So that is literally your mind. That is you activating that part of your mind, the hand part of your mind. So like if I hold my hand like that and I visualize my without moving my hand, I actually visualize my hand moving this way and then this way, I will feel like a force pulling my hand this way and then this way. Try it. Hold your hand like this and then imagine your hand moving this way. You feel like almost like a shadow of a hand that is moving that way whenever you do that. And then when you do it in the other way, like if I'm holding my hand like this and I imagine my hand moving this way, I will feel like almost like a shadow is trying to disengage from my skin, and it's gonna come off this way, like my hand shadow, if you want to call it. So I call it a shadow because it's just easy to visualize it. So if you understand this, write in the comments or right now or after this live is published. But I'm telling you this because in order for you to be able to conceptualize the mind fully, you have to understand the concept of the shadow. Because only with the concept of the shadow, you will be able to do other things with your mind. So Mustaf, I have no idea what you're talking about. Do I look Arab? No, I'm Mexican, just in case you had that question. So that's the concept. So I'm gonna tell you another concept. So I'm gonna just feed you off concepts of what the mind's physiology is, and perhaps it can help you understand it. So let's start with moving your shadow's jaw. So I know that's gonna sound super weird, but let's do this. So let's say that you hold your mouth and you're like holding it like this, right? Your mouth is shut. You're not saying anything. Now visualize your jaw opening and saying hello there while you keep it closed. Like you're actually, like if your mouth is saying it, but don't. So just do that. So stay like this and then just say hello there with your mind and use your face, but in an imaginative way. So if you're like this, just think, hello there. Let me block this guy because he's being bothersome. Give me a second. Okay, so I reported that guy to because he was saying it's about terrorism. That was weird. That's crazy. I never had that happen in one of these. Okay, well, so let's say that we're like this, right? And then you literally just tell yourself, let me keep reporting this guy again. They just block him. How do I block him? Okay, so I already hit that person. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. So we're like this, right? And we think of our faces saying hello there. So I'm looking at my face like this, and I think hello there, like if I'm saying it. I'm gonna feel almost like my mouth is actually moving. So that is the mouth of my shadow, or my mind, or my mind's eye. That is my mind's mouth. So I'm hoping this is helping you conceptualize what the physiology of the mind is. So it is pretty much you, but it is the potential in you. It's just like when I opened my mouth, I created a potentiality of me saying hello there, but I didn't. But I felt the potential. So also, let's say with one eye, like I'm holding my eyes shut, right? And if I imagine I open it, like the other eye, just like in my imagination, I'm gonna feel like my eyelid actually wants to open. So because the eyelids are super small and they require only a little bit of energy to open and close, a lot of times the mind is powerful enough to move your eyes or to close your eyes. So like that's just how it is. Like the eyes and the eyelids don't require a lot of energy, but moving a hand requires a lot of energy. Like everything of you has to be there to want to move your hand. But your mind, if you're like this, right? And you like open open your eyelid in your mind, but hold it down, you're gonna feel that your eyelid actually wants to open. Same thing with your eye. If you imagine your eye moving, you're gonna move it because the muscles are that do the work are so tiny. They require only such little amount of energy that the energy that you create on the eye, the action potential is enough energy to move the eye. So I hope that's making sense. So your mind has the power to move your eyes for you. That's why when you're asleep, your eyes are moving because like you're not moving them. Your mind is moving your eyes. That's why. Now we're gonna keep on with the same topic of the mind's physiology. So that is one of the things that the mind can do. The mind can move your eyes. Your mind refocuses them and takes them out of focus. You don't have to actively focus your eyes. So now, taking that into consideration, let's move on to the next concept. And the next concept is when your mind is looking for something. So let's say that you're thirsty, right? So listen, this happens when at a point where we don't really but we're not really looking for, how do you say, when we are not really looking for actively looking for something, but we kind of are. For example, if we're thirsty, right? If we are at the school, right? And we're thirsty and we know we're thirsty, but we're not dying of thirst. And we're like walking around campus and you're not actually looking for a water fountain or for a source of water, but let's say that you're thinking about you're hurrying to your next class and you're just like hanging out, and then on the next class, I mean, before you get to your next class, there is a water fountain. So even though you're not looking for it, your mind is gonna stop you, and it's gonna lock your eyes onto the water faucet, onto the water faucet or the water source, and it's gonna lock your eyes there, and you're gonna feel something. Oh, there's water, and your mind is gonna give you a thought. Oh, there's water. That's a thought that was imposed to your mind, into your consciousness by your mind. It wasn't a thought. It wasn't because you looked around and you went and you looked. Oh, there is water. No, your mind talks to you. That is your mind. That was your mind telling you, hey, there's water. However, most of us don't know how to differentiate between our own thoughts and our mind's thoughts. So your mind has thought of its own, but they are disguised as your thoughts. But that is because you haven't taught your mind to have its own thoughts. So I know that sounds weird. Give me one second. I know it sounds weird, but like if you've ever played like the Legend of Zelda, where Link is with Navi, with the little fairy, you can literally program your mind to behave like that. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Your mind does things without you being consciously aware. So that is practically the subconscious working. So the subconscious are the things that are happening beneath your consciousness. That's why it's called subconscious, but it's one level underneath. So like let's say that let's go back to the concept of when you were looking for water when you were thirsty, but uh, but you're going to work. So well, let me tell you another thing about the mind. If you were thirsty and you felt like a pull in your throat, right? And you had a thought, oh, I'm thirsty. That is your mind talking to you. That is your mind. So most of the, oh, I'm hungry. Oh, this. Oh, that. Most of those thoughts are like if you're hungry, the pull on your throat, and you're thinking, I'm hungry. That's your mind talking to you. That's your mind saying, oh, I'm hungry. So like if every time you say you have a pull on your throat when you're hungry, but instead you actively change the thought, I'm hungry. You actually change the thought to, oh, I need to eat. You need to eat. Like if your mind was talking to you, you can program your mind to tell you you need to eat. So you can give your mind its own language that makes it appear like if it's apart from you. So like you can, so this was the beginning of my journey of mind reprogrammation. And it is knowing to differentiate between the thoughts that are imposed on your on your conscious, and the thoughts that the thoughts that are imposed, that you impose consciously, and the thoughts that are imposed by the mind to your conscious mind. And the thing is that once you are able to understand how to program your mind to do that, once you are able to understand how to differentiate between the thoughts that are imposed by your subconscious to your consciousness from the thoughts that you consciously have, when that happens, you can make your mind tell you things. Like for example, one thing that I train my mind to do is that whenever I am driving and there is the white lines of the freeway on my field of vision, my mind starts reciting me affirmations. And whenever I see headlights, I make sure my mind feeds me something, feeds me an uplifting video that I made of cats at a rave. So like it sounds funny, but that's just and the music plays in my head. So like your mind can play music for you. This sounds really weird and sounds almost unbelievable, but your mind can literally reproduce music. And it's not like knowing the lyrics, but like literally reproducing the music in your mind, almost like you were wearing earphones without actually having to wear them. It is the coolest experience ever. But if you learn how to program your mind, you can literally have it do many, many things as possible. So like right now I'm doing the training where I tell my mind, hey, set a timer for half an hour. And literally my mind tells me, okay, timer for half an hour is set. And when the half hour goes by, I get a tap on my shoulder that says, hey, like I don't tap myself, but my mind taps my shoulder. So my mind produces a sensation of a tap here. And it says, hey, your time is up. The 30 minutes are up. And so like there is a level of programmation of your mind that is unbelievably computer-like, that you can program your mind to do if you know how to distinguish what the actual physiology of the mind, what are the actual actions, and what are the things that your mind does inside your body. Once you're able to understand that, and once you know how to differentiate, you can program your mind to say things, such as you can program your mind to be a timer. So like I will I will literally teach you. Well, I will teach you later on how to do that because I'm still putting it. I'm still doing on the training phase where I tell my mind, hey, set a timer for 30 minutes, and then my mind tells me, okay, timer for 30 minutes is set, and then nod to confirm, and then I nod, and then the timer starts, and then when it starts, then it's that's how that's like the confirmation of my mind and I is a nod like that. So and all of those things work, but you have to keep consistent the language of you and your mind because it's your mind. You can sway it every time. You can override anything that you want, any program, I guess, if you want to call it. But during gang stalking, when I was getting out of it, my mind was was trained. It was behaving like a robot. It was a crazy. It was the weirdest thing. So I told myself, okay, how how can I use all this programming? And I didn't believe that it was actually like programming, but it just felt like programming. It just was. I had to recalibrate, I guess, how I have to recalibrate my feet because I'm not sure if you remember that in previous videos I told you that there was a pain on my feet, but that was because my mind's feet were a little twisted, and I had to recalibrate my mind's feet to my feet, and the pain went away. I know that's crazy. I know that sounds like it doesn't make sense, but I recalibrated my feet, and when I recalibrated, the pain went away. That is one of the things that made like I used to feel like weird things on my feet, but then they just went away. It was strange. So then my feet are fine now, and I couldn't wiggle my tiny toe. I couldn't wiggle it before, but after the recalibrating, it just worked. I couldn't when I imagine my feet in my mind's eye, my feet weren't like how I see them. They were like all warped up. They didn't look like feet, and that was one of the main things that's one of the reasons that they were hurting. So I had to redo all that stuff. So yeah, that's about it. Let me see. I'm gonna see if there's anything else that I want to cover well with you guys. Also, please understand the concept of love. I'm just kidding. That's a song. I'm trying to formulate something else to talk about because this is my third time doing these lives, and I just haven't. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the past videos that I have posted. If you haven't seen them, they're already on the channel, and the first one is about what you imagine. So the mind's eye is literally another word for the imagination. And so when when I was living my best life, I was continuously thinking about the future. Like I was literally imagining myself doing the things that I was doing, like working out, and I was imagining myself having this super like hot body. I was imagining myself doing all the things, right? And but then the moment that I got distracted from imagining those things and I began imagining other things such as going to parties and all that, when that changed, my life changed. And the worst times of my life have been when I have been imagining the worst things. So that in itself tells me that what I keep imagining is what is going to dictate what I live. So pretty much is that knowingly or unknowingly, we all lead our lives with the imagination. So if you take care of the imagination first, everything else is going to follow. For example, if you start your day with imagining, oh, I'm going to study, and you just imagining. As soon as you wake up, you imagine your day, study, work, help my mom paint the fence, which is exactly what we're going to do in a couple of hours. Eat healthy. Like if you imagine your day is going to highly likely go exactly the way that you imagined it. Of course, with its little how the contratiempos, the little series of unfortunate events is gonna happen. The little misfortunes, little I don't know how to say contratiempos in English. Hey Siri. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me find that. How do you say contratiempos in English, dude? Why do I not remember? Contratiempo. Oh, mishap. Contretemps. Contretemps. Literally, is that an actual word? How did?
Contretemps.
A contretemps. So this is how you say contratiempo in English, guys. Listen.
Contretemps. Contretemps.
Contretemps. Hey David. So it's a contretemps. So that word is not used. It sounds like French, or setback or mishap. So it's a setback or a mishap. But once you start leading your life with your imagination, your life, it is going to incredibly likely go in that same direction. Thank you so much, David. Thank you. I'm glad you love them. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. So that was the first topic of the video of the latest video that says this will impact your life's direction. And so you have to literally imagine your life going in a particular direction, and you have to keep your imagination busy with that image, and your life will go, because you cannot be like thinking about being at the bar drinking and focusing on your work. Just like you cannot do the things the other way around. You cannot be like thinking of the club. Bye, David. Have a good day. So you cannot be thinking of the club and be a good student. So like if you want to do good in school, you have to keep your imagination busy with the schoolwork. If you want to be successful, you have to keep your imagination busy with success. Your success, your mind's eye is literally what is cutting your reality. I heard this in a lot of different ways from a lot of different parts, but I was never able to understand it, because it just wasn't explained to me in the way that it makes sense. Like when someone says, "Oh, your imaginations are the imaginations are the sisters of the mind," and even though I respect Florence Scovel Shannon's teachings a lot, because they have all been true, but these teachings are said in a way that are too metaphysical. But the thing is that if you are focused, if you keep your mind focused with one goal, your body will stay focused with making that goal a reality. And that's the thing. So now we're moving on to the next video, and it's about thought circuits. So what is a thought circuit? So a thought circuit is a state of mind, or a series of thoughts that cascade in your mind's eye, one after the other, just like boom, 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 boom. And these can be super strong to the point that they take you into a direction that you don't want to go. For example, I'm gonna give you an example of substance abuse. So let's say that I smoke crack. That sounds fun. So this is my, well, no, I don't want to say that, but yeah, I like coffee a lot. Anyways, so let's say that I'm trying to quit, right? So that if I smoke crack and I'm trying to quit, notice that the people that relapse is because their minds are begin imagining themselves using or remembering things. Like their imagination is working memories, is recreating points where they were using. The mind is recreating things where how they felt, things they did, the fun they had, or it just was, or like that's exactly what they were imagining. If you want to stop using any type of substance, you literally just like stop thinking of it. Stop imagining stop imagining. Make sure that imagine other things that have nothing to do with what you're trying to quit. And the thing is that the mind doesn't only have visualization, but the mind only tells you. So that is why you need to learn how to differentiate between your conscious thoughts and and the thoughts that your mind imposes on you. So, like, for example, if I'm trying to quit cigarettes, I'm gonna think, oh, I need a cigarette. But that is not because I am actively craving one. It is because my mind is used to smoking a cigarette at that time. So my mind is gonna be like, oh, I need a cigarette. Because that was the thought that I used to have, that I trained my mind to tell me around that time of the day. So you can stop smoking. But you have to first have your mind stop telling you, oh, I need to smoke. And that's actually easy, but you need to understand how the mind works. So once you know how the mind works, once you know how to differentiate between your mind's thoughts that are imposed on your consciousness and your conscious thoughts, then you are in control of everything. You're in control of your vices, you're in control of your cravings, you are in control. You literally are 100% in control. So then, like, your mind becomes like the devil's advocate. Like it starts working against you if you're not mindful of your subconscious thoughts. So, like, for example, the thought that says, oh, I need a cigarette, because I'm doing this. However, it came out of the blue, the thought, oh, I need a cigarette. When that happens, that is my mind telling me, oh, it's not telling you that you need a cigarette. It is telling you the training that you had before. It is telling you, like, oh, at this time you used to have a cigarette, and it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop telling you, oh, hey, I need a cigarette. But you have to, when you hear the thought, you have to cancel it, and you have to pull your mind. Like, notice that your mind has almost its own consciousness. It has its own movements. It has potential to suggest, to bring ideas into your mind. So, for example, because if I'm trying to smoke a cigarette or trying to smoke crack, and around this time I smoke crack, right? And I'm like hanging out, and then my mind is gonna tell me, oh, hey, I need to smoke some crack. That is not because my consciousness is thinking of it, but it is because my mind is reminding me, oh, hey, you smoke crack around this time. So then that suggestion in itself is gonna make me start imagining things. So that the mind starts working the imagination. Because of the suggestion that you start imagining, oh, maybe, if I want to, but my mind, the fact that I don't, that I had a thought, I had a thought, I'm not gonna let it you, like I'm quitting cigarettes. It's part of my training that I'm doing to be completely involved and 100% dedicated to my job. And to get willpower out of my fingers. Like I'm continuing that training now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the video that is called Create Willpower in a Snap. So it is literally about creating willpower with a snap of your fingers. So like right now, what I'm doing is that whenever I use willpower, I snap my fingers because let's say that I don't feel like working, but I have to. What I do is that I will literally snap my fingers and I will start working, because I'm making this, I'm tying this in with willpower. So every time I exert willpower, I snap my fingers. So then next time, whenever I snap my fingers, I will get willpower just from the snap of my fingers. So I'm literally creating willpower in a snap. So that's exactly why if you see me snapping my fingers, that's what I'm doing. Or I'm talking to you about it. So the moment that my mind is telling me, oh, I need a cigarette, but I don't I just leave it at that, and I do not start imagining. I don't feed off the thought. I don't feed off my mind's thought of I need a cigarette, and I just keep my imagination busy on what I'm doing. Like I'm aware my mind said, oh, I need a cigarette. However, that's all it was. That's all it was. So, and let's say that I want to change that, like fast, soon. Like let's say that I want to stop and like really soon. So what I do, I use thought re-indexing. So what is thought re-indexing? So I have that in another video. So thought re-indexing is when your mind pulls up a thought and you actively change it with another one. So for example, for the cigarettes or crack, let's say that I want to change it to I need to drink some water. So I will make my mind tell me I need a cigarette. And then when I do that, instead of I get a glimpse, an idea of the indexation of the thought. So this might not make sense to you yet. This might not make sense. But there is something where your mind re-indexes, like indexes your thoughts. So like at this time, this thought typically comes out. So the thought typically produces a physiological sensation. So like whenever I crave a cigarette, I get a pull on my throat. And it's the pulling of the throat that is my mind pulling my throat, telling me, hey, it's trying to grab my attention. It does that, and then at the same time, it feeds me the thought, hey, I need to smoke a cigarette. So what you do, you reimagine. You become really aware of how it feels. You become really aware of how it sounds when your mind's telling you that, and the pull on your throat. So whenever it does this, you literally have to speak to your mind. You tell them like this. So replace the thought that goes with a pull in my throat. I need a cigarette. Replace it with I need some water. And then what you do is that you speak for your mind. So like you use your mind's mouth. Earlier in the live, we talked about the mind's mouth, and the mind's mouth is pretty much where you imagine in your imagination, you imagine yourself talking. And when you do that, you're gonna feel like your mouth is actually moving, but it's not. But you're gonna feel almost the potential of movement. So you imagine yourself. So the imagination is a direct connection to the mind. So in your imagination, you tell yourself, your mind is talking to you, but you're controlling what your mind is saying. So you imagine yourself or your mind saying, next time I tell you I tell you I need a cigarette, but you use it with your mind's eye. You say this in your mind, and you visualize your own face saying it. And when your imagination's face moves the mouth, you're gonna feel jerk if your mouth is moving. That is your imagination's, your mind's mouth moving. So like practice right now. So like imagine your face, and then in your mind's eye you say, I will or next time I crave a cigarette, and then just like say that in your mind's eye. You're gonna feel this actually move if you're doing it right. And then you're gonna say, I'm gonna replace the thought with I need a cigarette with the thought of I need to drink some water, because it's gonna go with the pulling of your throat. And then when you do that, you're gonna say in your mind's eye, nod your head to confirm. And then you nod your head. And then you're gonna say with your mind's eye, change, confirm. And then you use your imagination's head, nod yes. And when your mind does that, you should feel like if your mind, like if your own head is nodding forward. You should feel that. Now, this takes a little bit of training to do. Remember, I was doing this training for a long time. But look, if you're young, start now, because your mind will be your assistant. You can train your mind to help you with everything that you want. And the beauty of this is that your mind has access to parts of your mind that you consciously don't. So you cannot pull up a memory of when you were a kid, crystal clear, because you don't have access to that. But they are all guarded in your subconscious mind. They are. And in the moment that you start, that you learn how to talk to your mind in a manner as if you were talking to a person, like if it was a robot, your mind will get personality. Your mind will behave like you train it to. Your mind will behave like you train it to. So like if you train your mind to give you an idea with a snap of your fingers, you can train your mind to give you an idea with a snap of your fingers. You can train your mind to make you feel sensations. So with that, I want to go a little bit onto the adult themes, but I taught my mind how to I can have an experience just with my mind. And it's I'm not gonna it's not the same as engaging in that activity with another person, but is so much better than auto pleasing, because your mind can do things that you would require to do yourself, but your mind can do things where you don't. Your mind can give you a lot of pleasure, and it is the most insane thing. And the moment that I learned how to do this, I stopped. I deleted all my apps for hookups, because there's no need. It's so much. It's all on my terms. It's all super fast, and it's exactly how I want it to be. and it's amazing every single time, and it's super fast because I'm in a hurry and I'm working, and no one's gonna be like, oh, you never lay down with me and spoon. Like, no. No, I don't have time for that right now. So that's that. So let's see, what else? Create willpower, there's everything. Okay, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about gang stalking. Just a little bit. Because I haven't talked in the live about gang stalking at all. So my current gang stalking situation is that it exists. And I spend a day like 10 minutes total, which it's a huge difference to go from an hour to 10 minutes. I mean, to 24/7 to 10 minutes. It's a huge, and that's been a change that has been done in about almost 6 weeks now. It's been 6 weeks since like I left San Diego, and I'm here in my house and I'm fine, and there is nothing disturbing that peace, and I am solely focusing on work, and I am retraining my mind to use all those things that I endured, because I was enduring all those things. I'm repurposing the things that I endured during gang stalking, because those are things that are incredibly effective, incredibly powerful, and they can be repurposed to make your life better, and which is exactly what this channel is about. The channel is literally about just doing everything to the point where it only helps people. So like, I was at a point where I was, how do you say, where if I would imagine someone being somewhere, I would imagine their voice, and I wouldn't even know that my mind was doing that for me. So like, let's say, so like if, so I'm still not sure how I can use that, because I can still, like, if I can imagine that someone is hiding there, and if if I imagine the mouth of the person and the person hiding, and I make it say something, I will hear the voice coming from there. Like my mind knows how to create the sound as if it's coming from my direction. And it's like, okay, how can I use this? Like, it's like I can make myself feel like I'm getting, like, I have, that there's people watching, like, and I can make myself hear the voices, like if they were coming from there. But I don't know how I could possibly use that for the benefit of anyone. Like, I don't even know how you could actually teach that, other than by creating suspicion that I'm there, but not confirming to the person that I'm there, and then just whispering things, hey, you know. That's a project that I'm gonna keep on my projects tab, but I'm not gonna pursue that until I find like something that can be useful. So let's see what else. Oh, so a lot of the things that happened during gang stalking are actually gone. Like, I'm not, like, when you're by yourself and you don't deal with anyone, you now you have a more clear vision of what other people are doing, and so like now, like, my mind is back to normal, and that's the thing, is that if you're getting gang stalked, the moment that you stay away from everyone, your mind is gonna go back to normal. Like, I remember the times where I came here from San Diego and I was just chilling. I went back after the weekend. I didn't hear anything. I was fine, and then I went back to San Diego, and then everything came back. So it's like I know it was the San Diego thing. I know that because like now that I'm here, like what the fuck, you know? I'm here and I'm fine. You know, and so it's like it's a little weird. It's like why is that happening? And it's the people. It's just the people. Why I have no idea. But let me tell you, it taught me a lot, and it taught me enough to start this channel, and to guide me to where I wanted to guide me to the mind's eye. And that's it. Well, I am done for today, for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I'm just gonna shower because I'm painting the fence with my mom. And I still have to keep writing into work. Okay, well, it's been a lovely third day of having coffee with you guys. I appreciate your time, and I really value it. If there is anything that you guys want me to talk about, be it gang stalking, be it the mind's eye, be it myself, my story, if you guys care. I mean, whatever, it's fine. Or if you guys want to tell me something about you that you would want me to know, or you need help with something, anything mind or gang stalking related, please feel welcome to, because I would be more than willing to help. Oh, before this thing's up, so I am helping this young lady who's actually really beautiful, and she's getting gang stalked. And by the way, I do read all the emails. If you guys have a gang stalking related something to tell me, please message me. I would love to start to share if you want me to share some of your stories of gang stalking in my channel, you guys are more than welcome to. So I'm not gonna say the name of this person, but if you're watching this, you're gonna know who you are, because I emailed this to you. And well, this morning she sent me a video, but I'm not gonna talk to her about the video. I'm gonna talk to her about the thing with the license plates. So when my gang stalking was starting, you know, your mind is gonna start finding connections everywhere. Imagine connections. So like with me, when it started, I began to see the, how do you say? Sorry, I'm just getting an idea of actually alternating this morning coffee session with your guys's experiences, and then when we talk about them, I think that'll be fun. So like, and then like the alternate one between gang stalking and another one for the mind. So like on the next one, we're gonna talk about gang stalking. This one right now we're talking about we talked mostly about the mind, but now I'm following a little bit with gang stalking. So that way we have like a more set. Let's see what this morning coffee thing evolves to. So if you have a story, if you have an idea, a supposition, something that about gang stalking that you want to discuss, put it in the comments or send me an email. You can email me to Anonymous Mankind Project. Just like that, how it sounds. Anonymous Mankind Project. So I still use this email and I still check it. So, or you can just write me a comment on any of my videos, I always read my comments. Always read my comments. So, or you can send me a message via Instagram, and it's my Instagram handle is Efren, EFREN underscore the eye of the mind. Well, just send me put a message here in one of these, or send me an email to the anonymous mankind project at gmail.com. And you can tell me a connection that you thought, and then I can tell you my experience, and then we can discuss it a little bit. So, and right now I'm gonna talk to you about this message is from Vegas, and this person is getting gang stalked. It's been happening for a while, and in our last exchange, she began noticing license plates. And, I went through the same thing too, where I was like, I thought that the black license plates was like a gang stalker thing, where gang stalkers had the black license plates. Because all of a sudden, I just began noticing a lot of black license plates. Why? I don't know. I just made that connection. And so now this person is seeing license plates with a pink, like plates that are out of state, like with a pink stripe. I also began noticing all of a sudden began noticing license plates from out of state. And that was when I began wondering, are all these guys, it feels like all those people are going into your city for you. That's exactly what it feels like. It just feels like that, and it's funny because that's exactly how I felt when I was feel like I was getting targeted, when my gang stalking was like getting serious. Like I looked, and then I began noticing a lot of people from out of state. And and when you continuously thinking about gang stalking, you think that everything is gang stalking related. So I was like, "Oh, these people are gang stalkers, and they're coming to after me." It just feels like that. But the truth is that people are probably out of state because they're like on vacation, for real. But the truth is that that's how it feels. The truth is that it feels that people are there because they're gang stalkers. It just feels that way. And well, that's the truth. Is that the truth? Like after all those years, I was like, yep, it's a psychological fuck. It just is. It's just like the time where I began all of a sudden noticing a bunch of white vans. Why? I don't know. But the one thing that doesn't change, that is fucking insane, that to this day is true because I lived it, is the time where all the cars around the block that I lived were the same color. So like this, I don't know still. Because I remember someone told me, right now we're sensitizing you to the colors. Someone fucking told me that. And I'm like, to this day, I'm wondering, because I'm wondering, did that actually happen? Or because like, I remember hearing this. I remember her telling me, right now we're sensitizing you to the colors. And and during that, when I heard that, I was exiting out of the parking structure, and the first car that I saw was like a color. And then I remember like all the cars that were around me that day were like one color. And then like I had the greatest experience where, to me, it was the greatest because I found it so amazing. But that's gonna be the starting point for our next video, because the hour is up and I have to shower. And I will talk to you guys later. So tomorrow, we're talking. We're talking about gang stalking. So if you're watching this video, and you are one of my subscribers of the gang stalking playbook, and you have a question, or there is something that you want to talk about, specifically about gang stalking, just put it in any of my videos. I check my videos all the time. I mean, I check all the comments all the time, all day. Like, this is what I do. And tomorrow I am sharing my gang stalking stories. And the day after that is gonna be about the mind. So today was about the mind. You know, the mind's eye is still getting, it's still shaping up, it's still evolving, and it's gonna be continuously evolving. And as long as it keeps evolving, it's good, because it means that we are innovating, we are creating. And yeah, so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It was a lovely morning coffee. Now I'm actually going. Bye guys, take care. Have a good day. Bye.